What's up, founders? I'm here with a simple message for you today, and it might be more for myself than it is for you. So thanks for being here for me. Enjoy today, not tomorrow. I remember a moment walking through the parking lot in the grocery store near where I lived. We were just a couple years into Voltage at the time, and I walked by this beautiful white 911. I thought, oh man, wouldn't it be great? Won't life be good when I have enough money for a 911? And I got a little dopamine hit from that because I could see the scenario. I could see that future of me driving that beautiful, nice white 911. But the reality is, almost 10 years later, I don't have that white 911. Still a beautiful car. Still wouldn't mind having one. But my life isn't bad for not having it. See, what I think is happening is I'm getting these little dopamine hits for things that are never going to exist. And I think it's actually distracting me from reality. I'm living in this future fantasy as opposed to living in the now. And I've noticed myself doing this more and more recently, where I'm doing a thing and objectively, things are going well. But I think to myself, oh, won't it be great when? This happens to me at work. It happens to me at home. My kids are 7. Yeah, they're both 7. That's interesting and it's intense, but I love it. As they've grown up, I've noticed myself doing this both at work and at home. At work, it'll be, the company will be so much easier when we get this hire in place. At home, it'll be, oh, life will be so much better when the kids are older and I'll be able to do X and Y with them. And I kind of had this realization this week that the kids are great right now. And by constantly telling myself, oh, life will be easier when, I feel like I'm ignoring the present. I feel like I haven't been giving myself and my kids and my company enough attention in the now. I think about them a lot. I think about the company a lot, but I think a lot about future state as opposed to just enjoying and relishing the lovely little chaos devils that they are right now. And yeah, it's hard. And yeah, so is starting a company. But that's kind of the great part is that you get to do this really, really hard thing and something positive is going to come out the other side. I was thinking this afternoon, I just went for a big bike ride and I remember hating riding up and down the hills. And now, if I don't have a hill on the ride, it feels meaningless. It feels not as fun. Maybe there's just something weird about me that I like climbing hills, but I don't think so. Or if there is something weird about me, I think there's something weird about you too, in that we're all founders and we're here because doing something hard is interesting. But I think we can lose sight of what's really important. And what's important is right now, is what you're doing. What you're doing right now is great. The way things are going right now, it's great. Do you want to make them better in the future? Absolutely. But does that mean right now is shit? No. I had a realization a few years ago when I was trying to lose some weight. I was having a conversation with my friend about, you know, oh, it's not fair, or, oh, I'm not this body type. And they said something that really stuck with me, that from a weight loss perspective, you weigh exactly as much as you should. And what they meant by that is given your eating and exercise habits, your body is doing the math and this is the result. And so if you want to change the result, then you have to change the inputs. And about a year after that conversation, I had a similar conversation with our executive team, and I was unhappy with where we were at from a revenue perspective. And what I realized was that we were exactly where we should be given our inputs. So our leads that we put into the system, the number of customers we closed, what we sold them, the quality of service that we delivered for them, we had earned today. Today is either the reward or punishment for everything I've done that's led up to this moment. It's a brutal, extreme ownership kind of way of looking at the world, but it's also kind of freeing. There's no more excuses. There's no more, oh, things will be better in the future. This is radical acceptance of where I am today. And if I want to make a change, all I have to do is look at the inputs and say, okay, if I want the situation to be different, what inputs do I need to change so that tomorrow or next week or next month is different? And I think why this was top of mind for me this week is that as founders, as leaders, as CEOs, as parents, so much of our job is just to show up, and not just show up, but show up well, show up mentally balanced, ready to make good decisions. Because as much planning as you can do, leading up to a particular moment, so much of whether we're successful or we fail is going to come down to the quality of our decision making. And in my experience, I can't make good decisions if I'm rattled, if I'm on tilt, if I'm frustrated, if I'm angry, if I'm hanging on to this bullshit that isn't fair, that I'm upset about something. I need to find a way to let go. And I think it was Seneca who talked about one of the principles of Stoicism that was willingly accept what is outside your control. I think I've said that to myself thousands, if not tens or hundreds of thousands of times, because if I want to show up and be balanced and be ready to make good decisions today, I can't be hanging on to what happened yesterday. And I can't be pissed off about what so-and-so said, or the fact that, one kid did this to the other, or moved this or broke that. If I show up angry and on tilt, I'm not going to make good decisions. I'm not going to be mentally balanced. I'm not going to be able to be that shock absorber for my team. And I'm not going to get the company to a different spot from where I am today, especially if I'm unhappy with it. And that's why you got to live in today and not tomorrow. Because when you forecast, when you think about tomorrow, you compare to what you have today. Do you have that white 911? No. Should I be unhappy about that? Absolutely not. If you're happy with what you have right now, you'll be satisfied. If you're unhappy because you don't have that white 911, then you're making yourself miserable and you're already probably in a pretty damn good situation. That's all I got today. Thanks for watching. If you prefer a text version of these, you can check out my newsletter, foundersedition.com.